Looked up small town America in the dictionary. Ridgefield is exactly what you'd see, or at least it's what you used to see. Over the past 20 years or so, Ridgefield has seen a tremendous amount of growth. And while it's still a great town to raise a family, there's definitely some things that might not be so appealing about moving here. So if you want to know what they are, stick around because we're getting into them right now. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Rick Anderson. This is the Living in Southwest Washington channel where we go over everything about moving to, living, working, playing here in Southwest Washington and the beautiful Pacific Northwest. If you're new to the channel, thanks for checking it out. I hope you guys get some good information out of it. Do me a huge favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap that notification bell so you know the next time I put out a new video. And if you're thinking about making the move here to Ridgefield or anywhere in Southwest Washington, I am a licensed real estate broker with eXp Realty. So if you'd like to work together on buying or selling a house, or you have questions about the area, whatever it is, feel free to reach out anytime. You can call, text, email. You can even schedule a Zoom call with me. There's a link down in the description below to set that up. I love hearing from you guys, so don't be afraid to reach out. Right now, I'm standing in front of what used to be Whipple Creek Stables. Now, years ago, I actually spent a lot of time here training horses, working with kids in 4-H groups, teaching them how to ride horses. Now, you can probably tell there's not a whole lot of horseback riding going on over here. That's because this property here is set to be one of many new subdivisions here in the Ridgefield area, which takes us into our first con about Ridgefield, and that's the amount of development that's going on here right now. Now, I've been in the Ridgefield area pretty much my whole life, so I've seen how Ridgefield is transformed from the sleepy little farm town to the fastest growing city in Clark County. So not only is Ridgefield seeing tremendous growth with housing development after housing development, but commercial retail projects, we're slated to be getting a new Costco here probably within the next few years. They just put in their applications for that with the city. But the outskirts area of Ridgefield, so basically anything outside of the city limits, but it still has a Ridgefield address, like where we are today, has also been seeing a tremendous amount of growth. This right here is just one of at least 3 or 4 new housing developments right within about a 1.5 to 2 mile radius of where we're at right now. And while the development's great for the local economy, a lot of the longtime residents here aren't exactly thrilled that their sleepy little farm town that they love so much is turning into yet another suburb. All right, con number 2 on our list, and this is one of the biggest ones that I hear about the Ridgefield area all the time, and it is the cost of housing. As Ridgefield becomes a more desirable place to live, you'd probably expect that the cost of housing has skyrocketed along with it, and you'd be right. So out of the 32 different areas that are tracked by our local MLS here in Clark County, for July, Ridgefield was in the top 10 highest of average sales prices here in the county. Now, to give you some context on this house that you see here, it was one of the first homes built in the Pioneer Canyon subdivision back around 2011. It was, when I say first homes, it was probably in the first phase of that development. Was built in 2011. It's a 3-bed, 2.5 bath, around 1,700 square foot. It's a nice house, but really there's nothing mind-blowing about it. I actually toured this house when it was first built before it had been sold. Nice house, but it's your average cookie cutter house in a subdivision. So this house sold in 2012 for roughly $216,000. Now, 10 years later, the market value in that neighborhood right around $500,000. So it's probably a little bit less right now with the way that the market's been changing. Not a bad amount of equity if you're the homeowner, but not so great if you're a prospective buyer. So right now in Ridgefield, home prices range anywhere from $250,000 for about a 10,000 square foot lot. So nothing on it, just a lot, all the way up to $4.5 million for a roughly 6,400 square foot estate on 31 acres that, between you and me, this place looks like they ought to be filming rap videos out in the driveway. It's amazing. This place is cool. Now, if you're like me, you don't have that kind of cash. The average home price in Ridgefield right now is around $670,000, $680,000. Most of the homes that you're going to find in that price range are going to be newer homes in subdivisions, which, don't get me wrong, they're nice homes. They're great homes, beautiful. The neighborhoods are beautiful. Most of them have parks and trails, for walking, riding your bike, stuff like that. But it's still a home in a subdivision, and that just isn't for everyone. So in some cases, you can find a little bit more property right around in that price range, but you will have to compromise on age, quality of the home, quality of the finishes, stuff like that, to be able to stay in that price point if having property is on your must-have list.
Now, this brings us to our next con with Ridgefield, and it's that the schools are really struggling to keep up with all the development that's going on in this city. Now, I know that's a problem that's pretty common in most schools throughout the country, but because it's such an issue here, I figured it's worth mentioning. Now, right behind me, we have the Sunset Ridge and View Ridge middle schools, middle and intermediate schools, sorry. Now, these are the newest schools in the Ridgefield School District. So these schools opened for the 2018-2019 school year, and guess what? They're already at capacity. So the amount of growth that Ridgefield has seen has also led to a lot of overcrowding in the school system. Now, credit to the school district, they've done what they can trying to pass bonds to build new school buildings that are desperately needed, but unfortunately they haven't been able to get that passed by the voters. Now, I get that nobody wants to pay a penny more in taxes, especially here in Ridgefield, where the average home price is in the top 10 most expensive in Clark County. But here's the reality of it. Whether voters pass the bond or not, as long as the development continues here in the district, the school district has no choice. They are required by law to be able to serve every student that lives within its boundaries. As a parent in the district, I see how hard the administrators and the staff are working to accommodate all of the new students from all of the new homes that are being built in, here in Ridgefield and the surrounding areas. But eventually we will have to pass a new bond, build new schools. As the overcrowding becomes more and more of an issue, that is something that's going to have to be done, and you will ultimately be seeing that on your property taxes when it happens.
Now, despite the development, the home prices, the crowded schools, Ridgefield still is a fantastic place to live, to raise a family, and to just enjoy life away from the city. That's why I'm raising my family here. So if you guys have questions about Ridgefield, or you're ready to make that move and you want to work together on buying or selling a home, feel free to reach out anytime, call, text, email, schedule that Zoom call. I love hearing from you guys, so don't be afraid to reach out. And before you take off, do me a huge favor. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap that notification bell so you know the next time I put out a new video. That's going to do it for me. So until next time, bye everybody.